Today's film is 1965's The 10th Victim. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't know about the other 9 victims. Well, I don't either. Maybe they'll do a prequel about it someday. But this movie is starring Ursula Andress and Marcello Mastroianni. And it's set in the future. Well, what was 1965's future? It's probably, like 1989 or something. And the society has set up these games, kind of like the Running Man, where people will enter for a chance to win $1 million. So to win the $1 million, you got to be a victim 5 times, and you got to be a hunter 5 times. And if you survive all 10 times, then you win the $1 million. And Ursula Andress is the hunter. This is going to be her 10th win. She's going to win the $1 million. And so she has to hunt down Marcello. And there's a lot of comments, sort of social commentary going on in this. For example, they mention, I think that this really helps get the violent instincts out of the killers and things like that. So there's kind of a purge thing going on.
An elementary study of history confirms the validity of the big hunt theory. It is mankind's safety valve. If the big hunt had existed in 1940, Hitler would have certainly become a member, and there would have been no World War II. Indeed, the big hunt has done away with war by giving man's violent instincts a competitive outlet. Never again will the innocent be molested by the tyrannical. For at last, man's lust for violence has been successfully challenged.
And of course, it also, as I mentioned, is sort of the Running Man situation. But there's also other social commentaries. So commercialism is a big part of it because it's her 10th time. A company has offered to give her a sponsorship if she will kill the guy on camera and say their catchphrase.
At the moment of killing the huntress Carolyn Meredith, the undersigned Marcello Poletti shall be seen to raise a big glass of your product. He will smack his lips and say in a manner that's clear and distinct, after smiling kindly and invitingly, the following slogan: with Coca 70, you always win.
In addition to that, so they go to Rome where the victim is, and they're flying around in a helicopter, and the helicopter pilot's like, "Oh yeah, I've been here in Rome before. I think it was my 11th wedding." So they talk. There's some talk about people in this time getting married and divorced like crazy left and right. There's a lot made of the fact that Marcello, the victim, he's only been married once. And at one point, Ursula Andress, she's in his apartment and she's looking around, and she flips a secret switch and the wall turns around, and there are 2 old people sitting there. And it turns out Marcello is hiding his parents, because apparently in the future you turn in senior citizens to presumably be killed as a means of population control.
It's not true. I'm a journalist. What do I care about your parents?
The reward money, naturally.
But what on earth are you doing with your parents anyway? Why haven't you turned them over to the state?
So there's all these kind of larger worlds hinted at here. And the movie it was made in 1965. It came out in 65. So it is very groovy. The soundtrack is very groovy. It was very mod, very, very fun. Some of the fashions that they wear are very out there.
Drinking tea and you're really living.
And one thing I thought was really interesting was this movie. There's a scene in this movie that is a direct inspiration for Austin Powers. When in Austin Powers they have the fembots and they have the guns come out of their boobs. That is originated in The 10th Victim. This movie is really fun. And speaking of fun, one of the things I noticed was Ursula Andress's character, at least early on, she seems to be having fun, which is kind of rare in movies. She's playing cat and mouse, she's being the victim here, and she's playing cat and mouse with a hunter, and she's enjoying it. She's enjoying playing with this guy. And we don't really see that a lot in modern movies, even maybe in a comedy or something, but in action movies, everything's so serious. But here, she's enjoying herself. She's laughing. She's kind of teasing the guy because she knows that he can't kill her. So, I really enjoyed this movie. I give it 5 thumbs up. The future's groovy. Hide your parents in the wall. Aren't we all victims?